Do you find yourself scrolling through your phone without even realizing how much time has passed? You're not alone. Many of us struggle with balancing our phone usage, especially with apps designed to keep us hooked. When does a simple habit turn into an addiction? If your phone is affecting your sleep, relationships, or work, it might be time to take a step back. Let's dive deep into the signs of phone addiction, why it's so common, and most importantly, how to break free from it. Phone addiction isn't just about checking notifications or browsing Instagram. It's much deeper than that. We're talking about a behavior pattern that starts taking over your daily life. When you can't help but reach for your phone first thing in the morning or feel a pang of anxiety when it's out of reach, that's more than just a habit. It's a sign of a deeper issue. Experts define phone addiction as an obsessive-compulsive behavior where your phone starts to dominate your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You might notice it when you're constantly scrolling, even during conversations, or when you feel lost without your device. In psychological terms, this is similar to other behavioral addictions like gambling or shopping, where the object of addiction isn't a substance but a behavior you crave. Dr. Adam Alter, author of Irresistible, explains, our phones are designed to be addictive, tapping into our need for social connection and validation. So, if you've ever wondered why you can't seem to put your phone down, it's not entirely your fault. Modern apps and social media are intentionally designed to hook you. But recognizing this pattern is the first step toward taking control. And trust me, it's possible. Ever noticed how you get a little hit of satisfaction when someone likes your post? Or that rush when you see a new message pop up? These aren't coincidences. Social media platforms, games, and even news apps are designed to stimulate the release of dopamine, the same feel-good chemical linked to other addictive behaviors. It's called the variable reward system, a psychological principle first identified by D.F. Skinner. Essentially, it's like playing a slot machine. Every time you refresh your feed or check for notifications, you don't know what you'll get. Sometimes it's a new like or a message, other times nothing at all. But that uncertainty is exactly what keeps you coming back for more. Plus, there's the fear of missing out, FOMO. No one wants to feel out of the loop, especially when your friends are constantly posting about their lives. According to a study published in the journal Computers and Human Behavior, people who frequently check their phones are often driven by a fear of being left behind. It's this fear that can drive us to compulsively check and recheck our devices. Phones can be great tools for staying connected, but let's be real, there's a darker side to it. If you're glued to your screen, you're likely feeling the effects in more ways than one. Mentally, emotionally, and even physically, phone addiction can take a toll. One of the most immediate effects? Sleep disruption. Using your phone late at night exposes you to blue light, which suppresses melatonin production. As a result, you might find it harder to fall asleep, leading to restless nights and groggy mornings. Over time, chronic sleep deprivation can contribute to mood swings, anxiety, and even depression. Beyond sleep, excessive phone use impacts your attention span. Have you noticed that it's getting harder to focus on one task? This isn't a coincidence. Studies have shown that constantly switching between apps, notifications, and other digital stimuli reduces our capacity for sustained attention. It's like our brains are being rewired to crave constant stimulation. On the social side, phone addiction can isolate us from the people right in front of us. It's ironic, isn't it? We're more connected than ever, yet we're lonelier. Real, face-to-face interactions are being replaced with virtual ones, which can leave you feeling empty. We've traded conversations for connections, but they're not the same, writes Sherry Tickle in her book, Reclaiming Conversation. All these effects can accumulate, leading to long-term consequences on your mental health. So, if you're feeling drained, disconnected, or distracted, it might be time to rethink your phone usage. Let's dive deeper into recognizing the signs and figuring out how to break free. Admitting you might have a problem with phone usage can be tough. We get it. It's not easy to imagine that something as common as a phone could cause serious issues. But the truth is, phone addiction sneaks up on you. One minute you're casually checking Instagram, and before you know it, hours have gone by. So, how do you recognize when it's becoming a real problem? Here's the deal. When your phone starts to interfere with your daily life, relationships, or mental health, it's more than just a habit. If you find yourself feeling irritable when your phone's battery is low or when you're somewhere without Wi-Fi, that's a red flag. And if you've tried cutting back on your phone usage but keep coming back for more, it's likely a sign of addiction. Psychologists liken this to the cycle of reinforcement. In behavioral terms, your phone acts like a slot machine, offering unpredictable rewards in the form of notifications, messages, or likes. The more you check, the more you crave that next hit of dopamine. That's why it feels so hard to stop, even when you know it's affecting your mood or productivity. How do you know if your phone usage is crossing the line? Let's talk warning signs. These might seem minor at first, but over time, they can snowball into bigger issues. Constantly checking your phone, if you're reaching for your device every few minutes, even when there's no notification, that's a clear sign. Feeling anxious without your phone, whether it's a low battery, poor reception, or simply not having your phone on you, that uneasy feeling can be telling. Neglecting real-life interactions. If you're more invested in your phone than spending quality time with loved ones, it's a sign your priorities might be skewed. Difficulty focusing. Excessive phone use can make it harder to concentrate on tasks, both at work and in your personal life. Using your phone to escape, whether it's stress, boredom, or sadness, turning to your phone as a distraction can create an unhealthy coping mechanism. If any of these hit close to home, it might be time to reassess your relationship with your phone. The good news? Awareness is the first step toward change. Believe it or not, phone addiction can lead to withdrawal symptoms, just like substance addictions. When you try to cut back, you might experience anxiety, restlessness, or even mood swings. It's not just about missing your favorite apps. It's your brain missing that dopamine rush. Some people experience phantom vibrations where they think their phone is buzzing even when it isn't. Others might feel a sense of panic if they can't find their phone or if it's running out of battery. These symptoms show just how deeply phones can affect our minds and emotions. If you've noticed these reactions, don't ignore them. They're your body's way of signaling that something is off. It's okay to admit that you need a break. In fact, recognizing this is the first step to reclaiming your time and energy. If you've recognized the signs of phone addiction in your life, you're already on the right track. But simply knowing isn't enough. The next step is to take actionable measures to break the cycle. Don't worry, though, you don't have to ditch your phone entirely. It's about regaining control, not cutting it out completely. Be honest with yourself. How often do you reach for your phone out of habit without a real need? The goal here isn't to shame you, but to create a sense of awareness. Just like any other addiction, breaking free from your phone requires intention, patience, and a willingness to make some changes. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but the freedom you'll gain is well worth it. Let's explore some practical self-help strategies to reclaim your time, focus, and mental well-being. Tip 1. Identify and address your triggers. Have you ever asked yourself why you reach for your phone? Is it boredom? Stress? A need for distraction? Understanding your triggers can be a game changer. For many of us, checking our phones has become a way to cope with uncomfortable feelings. But here's the thing. Using your phone to avoid negative emotions only offers temporary relief. It doesn't actually solve the root cause. Start by tracking when and why you pick up your phone. Is it during work breaks? While waiting in line? Or perhaps when you're feeling overwhelmed? Dr. Judson Brewer, a psychiatrist and author of The Craving Mind, emphasizes to break any habit, you first need to identify the cue. Once you know what's driving your phone usage, you can find healthier alternatives. For example, if stress is a trigger, try deep breathing exercises or a quick walk instead. Remember, breaking a habit takes time. Don't beat yourself up if you slip. Each time you resist the urge to check your phone, you're retraining your brain. Over time, those urges will become less frequent and you'll feel more in control. Tip 2. Build real connections offline. Phones have brought us closer together in so many ways, yet they've also created a strange paradox. We're more connected than ever, but somehow we feel more isolated. Studies have shown that excessive phone use can replace genuine, face-to-face interactions, leaving us feeling more lonely. So, what's the solution? Make an effort to connect with people offline. Plan coffee dates, join local clubs, or simply call a friend instead of texting. It's these in-person interactions that build deeper, more meaningful connections. And let's be real, no number of likes or comments can replace a heartfelt conversation with someone who truly gets you. If you find yourself scrolling through social media to feel less alone, try to flip that impulse on its head. Instead of reaching for your phone, reach out to someone you care about. You'd be surprised how much better it feels to hear someone's voice than to see another filtered photo on your feed. Remember, life isn't lived through a screen. It's happening all around you right now. Put your phone down, look up, and start engaging with the world. You'll feel the difference. Tip 3. Gradually reduce your phone usage. If the idea of completely cutting out your phone usage feels overwhelming, you're not alone. Going cold turkey often backfires, leading to frustration and a quick relapse into old habits. That's why a gradual approach works best. Think of it as digital detoxing, one small step at a time. Start by setting designated phone-free times. It could be the first 30 minutes after you wake up or the hour before bedtime. By creating phone-free zones, you're training your mind to function without constant digital stimulation. This not only improves your mental clarity, but also your quality of sleep. Next, reduce non-essential apps. Do you really need notifications for every new meme or sale? Probably not. Try disabling notifications for apps that aren't urgent. You'll find that reducing these digital distractions makes it easier to stay focused and present in the moment. Another trick? Use your phone's grayscale mode. By removing colors, your screen becomes less enticing, making it easier to resist the urge to check it constantly. Don't be too hard on yourself if you slip up. It's all part of the process. Each day is a new opportunity to reclaim your time and attention. Gradually, you'll notice a shift in how you interact with your phone. It will feel less like a compulsion and more like a conscious choice. Tip 4. Getting professional help for smartphone addiction. Sometimes self-help strategies might not be enough. If you're struggling with severe phone addiction, where it impacts your relationships, work, or mental health, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors specialize in digital addiction, providing guidance on how to break free from these patterns. Consider cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, a proven method to address addictive behaviors. Through CBT, you can learn to identify negative thought patterns and replace them with healthier coping mechanisms. This process can be incredibly effective in reducing phone dependency. Dr. Kimberly Young, a pioneer in internet addiction research, notes, acknowledging the problem and seeking help is the first and most critical step toward recovery. If therapy isn't accessible, online support groups and forums can also be great resources. Connecting with others who are facing similar challenges can be both empowering and comforting. You're not alone in the struggle, and there's no shame in reaching out for help. Raising kids in the digital age comes with its own set of challenges. Phones and tablets can be great tools for learning and entertainment, but excessive use can also interfere with a child's development. As parents, it's crucial to set boundaries early on. Start by modeling healthy phone habits yourself. Kids are quick to mimic what they see. If they notice you constantly scrolling, they'll assume it's normal behavior. Establish tech-free family times, like during meals or before bedtime, to encourage real conversations and connections. These moments are priceless and irreplaceable. For younger children, consider using parental controls to limit screen time and restrict access to certain apps. However, don't rely solely on tech solutions. Have open conversations with your kids about why it's important to balance screen time with other activities. Let them know it's okay to be bored sometimes. Boredom often sparks creativity. Teenagers may resist, but it's crucial to help them understand the risks of excessive phone use. Encourage hobbies that don't involve screens, like sports, reading, or arts. Remind them that life is happening beyond the screen, and they're missing out on it when they're constantly glued to their phones.